Alright, so a customer comes into Worky Man LLC, Electronics Repair Business Anonymous. They got this Dell laptop. They want to take Windows 10 off of it, and they want to install Linux Mint. So we're going to do that. Now, whenever you go try, this is a Dell Inspiron 7537, which came out in 2014. When you try to install a new operating system on this by first wiping your flash drive, Dell says we don't allow you to wipe your flash drive anymore and install a new operating system. So what we did is we have already opened this up. Since we couldn't get the old operating system off this, we just took the hard drive out of it, right? Took the hard drive out of it. This has got the operating system on it that won't allow us to wipe it. And we're going to put a new hard drive in that's completely clean, and we're going to install the operating system, which is going to be Linux Mint is the operating system we're going to install. So you open this up, hard drive will be right down in here, and it'll just be plugged in with this weird Worky plug here. And the hard drive will be seated in a hard drive, kind of a caddy thing like this that screws in. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the hard drive out of there, if we can. We might have something else going on here. Oh, 2 more screws. And after we're done with the hardware portion of things, what we will do is we will go and we will create a bootable USB. We'll download Linux Mint and we'll flash it to a flash drive. But there's things we want to do first. Here's our new drive. Got to remove this before installing. There. Alright. So the first thing we want to do is we want to seat this in this little tray. Now this has nothing on it. It's completely new out of the box, as you saw. We're going to get this to Worky. It's a whole new operating system on it. And I know their hard drives was kind of giving us problems anyways. So it really wasn't a big decision to take the hard drive out and swap it. Also, if you notice, this other hard drive, this other hard drive here, it's an SSHD. It's not a true SSD, right? So, you know, this right here is a true SSD. So we got it all screwed in. We're going to plug it in here. Maybe. I don't know. We might not. No, we got to flip it. Okay, that's what it is. Plugged in. Face it down. And there's going to be 2 screws that I did not remove. I mean, I did when I took this out. But it was just 2 screws. And I put them right back where they were screwed in at originally. So there's one. And here's another one. Now these are Worky screws. And Worky screws are very important because they're Worky. So now we've got our new Worky brain in our laptop, and it doesn't have anything on its mind, so we're going to teach it what to think. But we're going to do something first. So now that we've got that installed in there, we're going to go ahead and put the fucking stupid shit back on it. These things are such a pain in the ass. goes back down, and then we screw this in. Now, one thing about these laptops, especially these ones that were made in the last 10 years or so, a lot of them, especially like brands like Dell, will have a thing called Secure Boot active on them, right? And Secure Boot is something that will not allow you to boot from anything but the hard drive. And you have to go into BIOS, and you have to turn that off so you can boot, so you can tell the computer to boot from a USB before it tries to boot from the hard drive. Meaning if there's no hard drive in it, or there's no USB in it, it'll go to hard drive. But if there's USB, it'll go to USB first. So we're going to go ahead and plug it in. And before we do anything with the USB, we're going to start this bad boy up and make sure Secure Boot is off, because it will just give us problems if it's not. Operating system not found. That's fine. So it's just going to cycle over and over again. So there we go. Now we're at the BIOS, and we have to see there's boot. Secure Boot is disabled. Boot list option is legacy. So what we've got here is the first priority boot. We want to change that. USB first, then the hard drive, then this, and then removable drive. Alright? We're going to say F10 save and exit because we're done with that. Then we're going to go and we're going to turn this off first. We're going to go and we're going to download Linux Mint and flash it to a flash drive and boot from the flash drive. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look for Linux Mint. Linux Mint Home. We're going to download this. And this should make an ISO file or something, ISO, LMNOP file that we can use to flash onto a flash drive using a program called Etcher. And then we can put it into the Worky laptop to make it worky. Now that this is done downloading, we can go away from it. We have this program here called Balena Etcher, right? We're going to open Balena Etcher. We're going to say flash from file. We're going to go to our downloads and we're going to say Linux Mint. Open. Now we're going to select a target and we're going to make sure that we select our SanDisk UltraFit USB device. Then we're going to flash it. Yes. What this is going to do is it's going to write the operating system we just downloaded, Linux Mint, to the flash drive. It's going to make the flash drive a bootable operating system flash drive, which will allow us to install Linux Mint to the laptop on its new hard drive. So yeah, we've disabled the safe boot. We've made sure that's disabled. We've gone into BIOS and we've made sure that the laptop knows to boot from the hard or the flash drive first, and that's what's going to get this installed onto the hard drive. Alright, so everything has been flashed to the flash drive, of course you saw. Now we've started it up. We've told it to boot from the flash drive, which is here, and we have boot right up into to this. So start Linux Mint 21.1 Cinnamon 64-bit. Or we can go to compatibility mode. I don't really know. We're just going to do 64-bit. and it's going to have us install Linux on this machine onto the hard drive. Alright, we've got a Linux Mint system symbol right here, and it's thinking about what to do next. Alright, your first boot up is going to look something like this, and it's going to tell you that you need to connect to an internet. So we're going to go ahead and connect to our internet. We're going to connect. That's going to help us install Linux Mint. And then you just click install Linux Mint. It'll take you through some options. And it's a little bit more user friendly than installing Ubuntu or just regular Linux, Debian, or whatever they want to call it. This one actually kind of walks you through it, has you install drivers, things like that. This step here is important. It'll ask you if you want to install multimedia codecs. You absolutely do. You want to install those. That's one of the things that makes this better than just installing Ubuntu by itself, because Ubuntu doesn't give you these options at first. You just have to, with command codes, install them manually. But here we can just say yes, and it will install the codecs that we need. Go through the prompts. It'll ask you some questions. It'll ask about formatting the drive that you just put in it. Say yes, you want to format the drives that you just put into it. Then you put your Worky name and your Worky password in that you want, and then it starts to Worky. The customer that brought this into Worky Man Electronic Repairs LLC, Abracadabra, that customer was me. Alright, so now it says, hey, the installation's finished. We need to restart. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and restart this. And look, it's already installed the driver for the touchscreen. Please remove the installation medium. That is our flash drive. Then press enter. Yeah, let's press and enter. It'll start up. It's going to be a little bit slow the first couple times you do it because it's getting everything in line. But after you're done, this is going to run way faster than any bullshit this Dell had on it. And you can run Windows programs on Linux and make them worky by using a Linux program called Wine. And we're ready to go. Everything's good. Everything's installed. It workies. It workies. Worky!